brown rice are virtually identical. Lysine is lysine, for example. Methionine is methionine. But I don't want to get my methionine where I can get growth-stimulating hormones, antibiotics. And if you knew what that cow was fed, including other cows, dead cats and dogs, roadkill, grease from restaurant grease traps, would you want to eat that? No, I don't think so. And the chickens in our society, they can be fed ground up cardboard. They can be found eating manure that's processed. I don't want to eat anything that eats manure. You are what you eat. What does that mean to us? I want to eat something that's rich in fiber, because fiber is what we're lacking in the American diet. I'd like to see us having between 30 to 50 grams of good fiber a day. This gives you fiber, B-complex, and complete protein. There is no need for you ever again to eat anything with a heartbeat or a face. Now, I just interviewed Mr. World, and he had also been Mr. Universe. First, he doesn't use any anabolic steroids, no human growth hormone, and he is dynamically healthy. He eats this way. This is what he eats. And he gets his protein, and it took him longer to get the muscle mass, but now he's got it. So for any athlete, you don't ever again have to cheat by using that. So these are the foods that can give you massive muscle. And also think of the animals that are in the animal kingdom that are strong. Think of the elephant. It can live over 100 years. It's vegetarian. And the hippopotamus, and the rhinoceros, and the giraffe. And most of the diet of a gorilla, and chimpanzees. And think of the turtle that live over 150 years. Vegetarian. And the meat eaters, fast, strong, and live very short lives. I'm going to guess the average cat lives about 9 years in Africa. Even in captivity, they don't live that long. So this is what we need to eat. Remember, we don't have ripping and tearing teeth. We don't have a short, highly acidic intestine. We have a long intestine meant to digest grains, nuts and seeds and legumes and starchy vegetables. We have teeth that are meant to masticate, chew food properly. We have two enzymes under our tongue, ptyalin and amylase, that when you chew thoroughly and salivate foods, allowing the carbohydrates to become broken down. And the medium in our intestine, isn't that like a cat or a dog? It hydrolyzes our food, and when you take your time and you eat, and you really chew your food, you create what is called bolus. Then it goes into the stomach, and please do not have any cold beverages with a meal, because that can upset your digestive acids. It can dilute them. And that means you're not going to get fully digested food that goes into your intestine. And because we're eating real fast, we're eating the wrong foods, fast foods, we're chew, chew, swallow, drink, chew, chew, swallow, drink. That means that the stomach doesn't have teeth. So partially digested food goes in the intestine, and then some of that gets absorbed into your bloodstream. When that happens, your whole immune system goes on full alert and attacks this object. It doesn't know that you just haven't eaten your food properly. Now, it's used to attacking viruses and bacteria. Now, you have two parts of your immune system. You have your cell-mediated immune system, like your T cells, your lymphocytes, and you have the humoral immune system, where you create antibodies. Both of those are supercharged when you eat something it doesn't recognize. It just knows there's a massive bad thing here, let's kill it. That means you're constantly overstimulating the immune system, depressing the immune system in time, so when you need your immunity, you may not have it, all because you didn't take your time to slow down, eat properly, and stop drinking the beverages with the meal. If you want a beverage with a meal, have a juice. You can have a great green juice, celery, and cucumber, and cabbage, and ginger, and cayenne, and tomato. Now that will digest perfectly with the body. And take your time. Stop watching television or listening to radio or on the cell phone or having an argument. Take your time and enjoy the meal that you're going to eat. Now, once we understand that we should be going into health food stores or supermarkets and asking, where are your beans, where are your legumes? Now, one of these legumes is a superfood. It is soy. Now, all over the Orient, in Japan and China, soy is very common. In fact, they don't drink cow's milk. It's the exception, not the rule. In America, we drink cow's milk and rarely soy milk. In Japan, they have more Japanese drinking soy milk each day than we have Americans drinking cow's milk. Now, soy milk is wonderful for us. And soy, there are about 5,500 studies in the scientific literature showing what it does. And there's a controversy now. There's a group of people who are trying to say, don't drink soy, don't eat soy. So I look carefully at the evidence. And based upon reviewing over 5,000 studies, even excluding those that were pro-industry supported, just objective science, 98% of the studies showed a positive impact, and especially in the Orient when it came to menopause and andropause, and helping men keep their prostate down, and women who rarely get breast cancer at the rates we do. And many women in Japan and China go through menopause with no adverse effects at all. I think that's very important. Soy is a part of their diet, as is sea vegetables, starchy vegetables, and we're just not eating that in our society. So soy, now soy comes in many forms. Tofu, which most of you are familiar with, tempeh, which is a fermented soy and has a higher protein. And a lot of people who want to start on soy, if they have like a tofu burger. Now you go into the health food stores now and they're already made up for you. They have mastered the art of making these foods taste good. They have them barbecued, they have them Thai style, they have Italian style, Mexican style. So whatever type you want, based upon your taste preferences, a Tex-Mex, you can find that. And that's wonderful. And they've even taken all these and they've made meals. Now you can go into a health food store and you'll find any one of these beans or grains or legumes already made. All you do is just heat it up. So we have grains and legumes and beans, and then we have peppers. We didn't eat many peppers where I grew up, but peppers are extremely rich. It's the color. Any fruit or vegetable that has a very pronounced color, like reds and yellows and purples, that's chlorophyll. That's phytonutrients. Now, phyto means plant-based nutrients. One single food may have 200, even 250 different phytonutrients. And what we now know is the phytonutrients in your reds help repair DNA. So the more reds you have, the healthier your DNA is going to be. Now, why do we get old? Why does our skin sag and our cells get depleted and we start to kind of wither away? Because our DNA is aged prematurely. When you start eating and juicing from these food groups, you're actually helping to slow down the aging process, because you're not eating this that causes free radicals and inflammation. You're eating this that turns off free radicals because it's rich in antioxidants. And an antioxidant like vitamin C from here goes through the blood, and here's a free radical. It attaches to it and neutralizes it. So the more antioxidants you have throughout the day, the less damage you have from free radicals. So remember that. And this has almost as much vitamin C as an orange, but it has different nutrients in an orange. So your peppers are important, but also veggie dogs. They're made from tofu. They taste as good as a hot dog and have only natural, organic, and healthy ingredients. And here is a tofu cheese that has no casein. It's non-allergenic, and that's the wonderful thing about eating from this group. It's low allergenic. And a lot of people today are realizing, gee whiz, you mean my gas and distension and bloating, constipation, a lot of the pressure diseases in my intestine came because I'm allergic to wheat, the gluten in wheat? And the answer is yes. In and of itself, wheat is not bad, but because we use it in so many different products and almost every day, we develop an allergic reaction to it. I used to love to eat an apple, but every time I did, my eyes would get very red, my earlobes would get red, and I'd get very itchy in my throat, and it would last about 2 hours. And I hadn't eaten apples in quite some time, so I was upstate, and I went to an orchard. It was a beautiful orchard. It was in a place called Goshen, and the orchard sat on a little hill, so you could see about 50 miles around. And it was a wonderful summer day, late summer, and there were some apples. And I went over and I just said, what the heck, I'm going to eat this. So I ate that apple, and nothing happened. I thought, well, that's strange. So I took 2 or 3 apples, and the rest of the day I ate those apples. Nothing happened. The next day, I'm feeling great. When I walk out of my apartment, I go over, and there's a produce stand, I took an apple.